एक अवतारी पुरुष, एक ऐसा पुरुष जिसने भारत को नई ऊंचाइयों पर ले जाने का संकल्प किया है।
आज बिहार ने फिर से इतिहास रचा है।
2025 was a phenomenal year for the BJP. It started on the back of the big election wins BJP had in Haryana and the state of Maharashtra in late 2024. Those wins had helped BJP overcome the minor setback it faced in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections when it could win only 240 seats and short of a majority, and it would depend on other partners to form NDA 3. Come 2025, however, we saw BJP winning big in the state of Delhi, ending the 10-year-long dominance of Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party. And then came the big one, the NDA winning a 3/4 majority in Bihar, with the BJP leading the pack with a phenomenal record in the Bihar elections and a great strike rate. This also answered all those critics who thought the BJP had been weakened after the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, though the BJP still formed the government. By the end of the year, the BJP had also answered the other big question by making Nitin Nabin as its new working president. There was a lot of chatter in the political circles on why BJP is not being able to find a replacement for JP Nadda. But now with Nitin Nabin in the saddle, and he's expected to be also elected as the BJP's national president come in January, it will be Nabin who will be leading the party into the big election battles of Tamil Nadu, of Kerala, and also of Assam and the most important state, West Bengal. Let's speak to politicians of the BJP to know what has been their strategy during these big election wins and how the BJP sees the most important and the most critical year for it, 2026.
आज कांग्रेस मुस्लिम लीगी माओवादी कांग्रेस यानी एमएमसी बन गई है। बिहार के लोगों ने समृद्ध बिहार के लिए मतदान किया। भारत के लोग अब सिर्फ विकास चाहते हैं, तेज विकास चाहते हैं, विकसित भारत बनाना चाहते हैं।
Sir, 2025 was a great year for the BJP. You won in Delhi, you won in Bihar, earlier you won in Maharashtra and Haryana. How do you think BJP has been able to win these states in such a big way? You know, big majorities have also come. What is the reason behind this?
Reason behind BJP's organization is humble organization and systematically. You know, we are the root ground worker. We are all are not a leader worker, including PM sir. Because of that, the difference with other parties. तो बिकॉज ऑफ दैट बीजेपी सिस्टमेटिकली पहले से ही काम करता वेरी फर्स्ट डे से। दिस इज आफ्टर इलेक्शन आने के बाद वी आर गोइंग टू वर्क, नो दैट टाइप ऑफ वर्क बीजेपी नहीं करता। भी सभी समय बाकी सब पार्टी क्या करता है, इलेक्शन के समय ही उनको याद आता है, जनता भी देखती है। एंड डिलीवरी यू सी लास्ट 3 टाइम के पीएम में लोग पहले देखा अंतिम जन के डिलीवरी नहीं होते, स्कीम सुनाई देता था। इंदिरा गांधी ने नारा दिया था सबुज विप्लव का, कर पाया? किसान के लिए बोला था, नहीं किया। मोदी जी ने नारा दिया अंतिम जन तक मैं हेल्थ स्कीम पहुंचा दूंगा, पहुंचा दिया। तो इनकी जो हर एक स्कीम है वो नीचे जाता है, डिलीवरी होता है, टाइम बाउंड होता है। बिकॉज ऑफ दैट एक नीचे मोदी जी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए एक पॉजिटिविटी है। देन अमित शाह जैसा चाणक्य है हमारे पास संगठन का, तो कुल मिला के जनताओं के जो सोच है उसको लाके राजनीति करना, ये बीजेपी का वैशिष्ट्य है। और बाकी सब मैक्सिमम पार्टी का परिवार को सोच को लेके राजनीति करता है। दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन बीजेपी एंड अदर पार्टीज।
एंड आल्सो मिस्टर नड्डा व्हेन ही वाज स्पीकिंग द बीजेपी में, आई रिमेंबर द बिहार विन के बाद उन्होंने एक चीज़ बोली थी नड्डा जी ने स्टेज से कि लोगों में कुछ एक गिल्ट भी था कि 2024 में सीट थोड़ा कम हो गया, उसके बाद लोग हमने गलत कर दिया, मोदी जी को और बड़ा मार्जिन देकर जिताना है। वो भी एक कारण है कि बड़े मतलब बिहार में 3/4 मेजोरिटी, महाराष्ट्र में 2/3 मेजोरिटी।
देखिए गलत लोगों ने किया ऐसा तो मैं मानता नहीं कि वोटर परसेंटेज हमारा बड़ा था 24 में, तो इसलिए प्रधानमंत्री का लोकप्रियता कम हुई। और ठीक है, नंबर गेन होता है आपके डेमोक्रेसी में, और दिस इज डिफरेंट। बट लोकप्रियता में मोदी जी के और भी बढ़ा।
बिहार ने ये सुनिश्चित किया है, बिहार की महान भूमि पर फिर कभी जंगल राज की वापसी नहीं होने वाली।
Not every day does Bihar give such a historic mandate, and not does every time the BJP be able to win such a big election. There is something which is extremely special as far as 2025 Bihar State Assembly elections were really concerned. It proved yet again that Nitish Kumar's image and BJP's election machinery held the key as far as that poll was really concerned. It was for the first time that the BJP had an alliance not just with the JDU but with many smaller parties including Upendra Kushwaha's party, Chirag Paswan's party and Jiten Ram's party as well. Excellent coordination between all the party units, making sure that there was not a single disconnect that was existing right from the booth level to the central level. Campaigning, coordination, all of this actually held the key as far as this poll was really concerned. Remember, it was a very important election, not just from Nitish Kumar's point of view, but also from the point of view of the BJP, given the fact that people had a serious doubt in their mind whether Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government would be able to take a coalition together and really go as well. Things worked effectively on ground. The perfect election machinery that the BJP really has, whether it's of course deployment of key forces and including deployment of MPs and MLAs at every step of the way. Every booth was covered, every Lok Sabha constituency was covered, every assembly was really covered as well. The BJP holding a multi-tier system in place, not just at the booth level but from there from the district level to of course the state level, deploying the services of key people like Dharmendra Pradhan, who know the state inside out. Of course, he had company from, C.R. Patil, again another central unit leader who has a lot of experience backing him. And of course, Keshav Prasad Maurya, who is also from Uttar Pradesh as well. So the BJP showed people a lesson that if you coordinate well, then the election machinery certainly works fine as well. BJP has been constantly on election mode. Day after day, their units are seen working in and out of states and centre, making sure that people understand what good governance really means and what double engine growth really means as well. A big credit needs to be given to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the way he's marshalled the resources.
बिहार के लोगों ने बिल्कुल गर्दा उड़ा दिया।
Joining us right now is C.R. Patil, co-in charge of Bihar elections. Patil साहब, ये बताइए 200 नंबर तो आ गए, पर इसके पीछे की कहानी क्या है? क्या कितनी मेहनत लगी आप लोगों को?
मुझे लगता है कि जो 200 लाने में आज तक जितनी मेहनत की होगी उससे भी कम मेहनत में 200 सीट मिली है, क्योंकि बिहार के लोग स्वयं जागरूक हो गए थे। अपने अधिकारों का जो हनन हो रहा था वो भी उनके ध्यान में आ गया था और इसीलिए उन्होंने पहले से मन बना के रखा था। बिहार के वोटर्स तो है ही, मगर बिहार के जो बाहर रहने वाले लोग थे वो इस बार ज़्यादा सक्रिय थे और उन्होंने भी पूरी कोशिश की। और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी साहब ने जो बिहार विकास के लिए अलग अलग प्रोजेक्ट दिए, योजना बनाई, नीतीश कुमार जी का जो वहाँ के लोगों के साथ जो एक संबंध है उसका भी फायदा हुआ। जो दोनों डबल इंजन की सरकार के द्वारा जो काम हुए बिहार में उसका भी फायदा हुआ। बिहार के जो संगठन के लोग हैं, कार्यकर्ता है, उन्होंने भी बहुत अच्छी मेहनत की। अमित भाई शाह साहब ने पूरा प्लानिंग करके रखा था, उसके ऊपर जो काम हुआ उसके कारण जीत एकदम इजी हो गई। हमें लगता था कि 160 प्लस आएगी, मगर जब काउंटिंग शुरू हुआ और 171 पर रुझान चल रहे थे, जब ही तय हो गया था कि हम 200 उसको टच कर लेंगे। जो 15 और 20 के इलेक्शन के अंदर जो जंगल राज की बात इतना मुद्दा नहीं चला था वो इस बार चल गया, क्योंकि इस बार लालू जी का बेटा खुद सीएम बनने का सोच के उन्होंने अपने आप को वहाँ प्रोजेक्ट किया और उसी में सबको लगा कि अगर लालू के बाद ये आ जाएगा तो जंगल राज जरूर आ जाएगा। ये भी लोगों को विश्वास था। बाकी लोगों ने भी कोशिश की, मगर जैसे प्रशांत किशोर ने भी कोशिश किया वहाँ पे, मगर लोगों ने वो सबको नकार के जहाँ उसको स्टेबल एक सरकार बने, उसका ठीक से बिहार का डेवलपमेंट हो, उसको सोच के ही उन्होंने जो वोटिंग किया है, जो वोटिंग की तरह रही है, मैं बिहार के वोटर्स को बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन देता हूँ कि उन्होंने बिहार का देश के विकास के साथ जोड़ने की जो चेष्टा, जो संकल्प करके आगे बढ़े, उसका एक परिणाम आया है। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी साहब को
बहुत सारे लोग ये सोचते थे कि आपकी अलायंस नहीं चल पाएगी जमीन पे, पर 5 अलायंस पार्टनर के साथ आप चले, एक अलायंस के साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन है, आप खुद भी को इंचार्ज रहे। कैसा ये अनुभव रहा और क्या बताना चाहेंगे आप जनता को?
बिहार में 5 पार्टी थी, केंद्र सरकार में भी कोएलेंस चल रहा है इतने सालों से, 2014 से। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी साहब सबको साथ में लेकर चल रहे हैं और आज तक कभी किसी के साथ कुछ अनबनाव नहीं हुआ। यही बताते हैं कि माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी साहब कोएलेंस का जो धर्म है, उसका जो काम करने का तरीका होना चाहिए, सबको साथ में रखने के लिए जिस तरह से उनके साथ बिहेव भी होना चाहिए, उसको विश्वास में भी लेना चाहिए। तो हर निर्णय में सबके साथ मशवरा करते हुए जो काम होता है, उसके कारण जो आज विश्वास बना है कि जो इंडी में गठबंधन के थे लोग थे और जो यहाँ थे एनडीए में, उसको दोनों के अंदर जो बहुत बड़ा फर्क था, वहाँ सबको एक दूसरे में अविश्वास था, यहाँ में सबको एक दूसरे पे विश्वास था। इसके कारण सभी पार्टियां अच्छी तरह से जीत पाई, ये भी एक बड़ा कारण।
जो पॉलिटिकल स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको क्या सीखना चाहिए बीजेपी जैसी पार्टी को? क्यों बीजेपी बार बार सक्सेस पाती है?
कि पॉलिटिक्स में आपकी विश्वसनीयता होनी चाहिए। जो मोदी साहब की एक विश्वसनीयता है कि जो कहेंगे वो करेंगे, ये विश्वसनीयता होनी चाहिए। साथ में टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग होना चाहिए। टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग करने से आपको पूरा डेटा मिलता है, प्लानिंग करने में वो ईजी हो जाता है। और इसके लिए पहले जो लोग थे वो टेक्नोलॉजी का उपयोग पॉलिटिकल इसमें नहीं करते थे, और माननीय प्रधानमंत्री मोदी साहब ने वो शुरू किया और उसका भी बहुत अच्छा परिणाम मिला है। तीसरा जो है कि जो उतना ही बोलो जितना हम उसका वचन पूरा कर सकते हैं, उतना ही वचन देना चाहिए। बहुत बड़ी बातें करने से जो संभव ही नहीं है, ऐसा जब वोटर्स को लगता है कि ऐसा प्रॉमिस करे कि जो संभव नहीं है, तब उसका विश्वास भी टूट जाता है। तेजस्वी ने कहा था कि हम इतने करोड़ लोगों को हर घर में एक सरकारी नौकरी देंगे, तो कैसे देंगे? तो वहाँ भी ऐसे जो वचन हमें फायदे के बजाय वो नुकसान करता है हमें। तो ये आक्षेपबाजी करने में एक दूसरे के ऊपर कीचड़ उछाड़ने के बजाय हम अपना काम करें, अपने काम को लोगों की तरह ले जाए। हम क्या करना चाहते हैं वो बात स्पष्टता रूप से हम लोगों के सामने रखें, तो उसका फायदा होता है।
पूरा बिहार कह रहा है, फिर एक बार एनडीए सरकार।
As 2025 comes to an end, the one message that Prime Minister Narendra Modi wants to give to his party leaders that Bihar तो अभी झांकी है, अभी तमिलनाडु और बंगाल बाकी है. The Prime Minister in fact has gone ahead and said that after the Bihar election, the big focus will be on Bengal because the Ganga which flows from Bihar comes up to Bengal as well, and that has been on the mind of the BJP for a very, very long time, given the fact that they have not seen much success happen in the eastern state, barring being able to come a few notches higher in the last election. The fact that the BJP is constantly searching its inroads in the southern states, and a big development coming to the fore with Kerala, in fact, giving them that one Lok Sabha seat in 2024. That's supposed to be a silver lining, is what the BJP leaders have been saying. And now that, Tamil Nadu will also be a focus, given the fact that the BJP has an alliance with AIDMK like before. And they're very, very hopeful that people of Tamil Nadu will understand that they need to oust people who are corrupt, and they need to oust dynasts as well. Kerala, in fact, the recent successes that one has seen in Thiruvananthapuram is going to be of great significance as far as the BJP's fortunes in the southern states are really concerned. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi, through his meetings with the MPs from the southern states, has said it is important for the country's development that you win states in the south, where of course they have been marred by controversies only because of the dynasty parties that have been existing so far as well. So after a successful 2025 with the BJP winning states like Bihar, Delhi and Haryana, in fact also showing the way earlier as well, it seems that 2026 is something that the BJP is hoping for big electoral successes to happen, with four important states that go into polls, of course ahead of 2027, when in the first part of the year you will have UP going into election, and then of course Gujarat will in fact close the 2027 year for the Saffron Party.
गंगा जी यहाँ बिहार से बहते हुए ही बंगाल तक पहुंचती है। बिहार ने बंगाल में भाजपा की विजय का रास्ता भी बना दिया है।
अभी बंगाल के बड़ी है, गंगा वहाँ से प्रधानमंत्री ने बोल दिया तो गंगा बिहार से बंगाल होके जाती है, तो हमको वहाँ काम करना। और हम बंगाल जीतने के लिए नहीं गए, हम बंगाल को मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए गए, क्योंकि बंगाल इतना ऐतिहासिक धरोहर है, इतना स्ट्रॉन्ग इकोनॉमी है, इनको खत्म करके सिंगल डिजिट में जीडीपी ला के रख दिया। आप फिफ्थ इकोनॉमी 5 ट्रिलियन की इकोनॉमी प्रधानमंत्री बनाना चाहते हो, कहाँ से बनाएंगे? ओनली स्टेट वेस्ट बंगाल जो वहाँ से ही बन सकती, क्योंकि वो 1953 के पहले आपके 27% जीडीपी देश का देता था। 27% मतलब 30%, उस स्टेट को आपने जीरो बना दिया। तो वही स्टेट है जब मोदी के हाथ में आएगा, जनता साथ देंगे। और मैं पक्का हूँ, मैं बंगाल का सह प्रभारी हूँ इलेक्शंस का, मैं जानता हूँ बंगाल के जनता बैठे हुए हैं। तो उन्होंने 34 साल की सीपीएम से मुक्त दिलाने के बाद सोचा था भाई बंगाल को ऊपर लेके जाएगा, इन्होंने और भी नीचे लेके गए। बंगाल के जनता इस बार उनको
You will win Bengal this time. 2026 will start with Bengal win.
डेफिनेटली बंगाल के जनता जीतेगी।
Outgoing BJP President JP Nadda gave an interesting twist to the big BJP election wins in Bihar and Delhi when he was speaking after the Bihar election win at the BJP headquarters. He said that people maybe are feeling guilty after giving only 240 seats to the BJP in the Lok Sabha and are now voting in larger numbers for the BJP in subsequent state elections because they feel that they had wronged Mr. Modi by giving him a lesser mandate, by maybe getting misguided by this whole reservation, bogey which had been raised by Rahul Gandhi. And in subsequent state elections, people are coming out in larger numbers to vote for the BJP to make up to Mr. Modi. And maybe this, JP Nadda said, explains the big election wins for the NDA in Bihar, a 3/4 majority, BJP coming to power in Delhi after decades, or BJP winning in the big way in Haryana as well as Maharashtra.
...2025 has been another successful year for Bharatiya Janata Party. This year, 2 assembly elections were conducted, Bihar and Delhi, and both of them had gone into the kitty of Bharatiya Janata Party. But Delhi is something which has been significant because BJP has made a comeback in the national capital after 27 years, winning 48 seats out of 70, which is historic, unprecedented for the BJP. One of the foremost reasons for the BJP's victory was their aggressive campaigning against Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal on corruption. They branded this government as a corrupt government and therefore talking about the corruption in Sheesh Mahal and Delhi excise policy. Starting from the Prime Minister to other leaders, they were constantly targeting Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party for looting the money of people of Delhi and using it for their own benefits. The second important point here is they talked about those promises which Aam Aadmi Party made in 10 years but did not deliver on the ground. Yamuna cleaning was one of the topmost issues. Prime Minister Modi also spoke about this during the campaigning time, saying that if BJP would come to power, he will personally ensure that Yamuna is cleaned. Air pollution, of course, is something which is a big issue for the people of Delhi. And on that front, Arvind Kejriwal government had also made promises to make Delhi clean. It did not happen. And that's something which BJP also highlighted during the campaigning time. The booth management strategy which BJP deployed, and for that it was Bajant Pandha, their election in charge of Delhi. He has also played a very, very crucial role. He was the one who was made the state in charge in 2020 initially. Then in 2024, he was given the mantle of the poll management for the party and he delivered on that. Were the strategies that you deployed to take down Aam Aadmi Party? Because remember, it was Arvind Kejriwal who claimed that he is the most popular chief minister of Delhi, and that too when you did not have any chief ministerial face for the capital.
You know, this was a question which was repeatedly asked of me during the election campaign by some members of the media who were very skeptical about our strategy. But don't forget that we have the world's most popular public leader in Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is not us saying this. Month after month, any survey, you'll see that his popularity ratings are way above any other leader anywhere in the world. That was our major weapon. And in fact, the turning point was in January when Prime Minister Modi stepped out for the first time and reiterated the commitments that we had been announcing, the promises we have been making, because the people of Delhi wanted to hear it from the Prime Minister. They wanted to be reassured at the highest levels that we would indeed bring about these changes.
We are an honest government. हम पैसा खाते नहीं हैं.
We've seen that Arvind Kejriwal had come to power by making those, if I may call it, freebie things for people, and probably he sustained that power because of that. So how did you make it possible that without stretching too much, giving away too much, and because Prime Minister Modi was speaking about a freebie culture also, which is not good. So how did you counter that?
I think this is one of the most important questions for politics in India in the current era. Because with this freebie culture of offering everything free, Aam Aadmi Party had managed to win 3 elections in Delhi. And we had to counter that. And the BJP is a responsible party. When we make commitments of government programs, of expenditures, it has to be vetted not only by the state concerned, it has to be vetted at the highest levels, going up to our parliamentary board. And we do not have the liberty to make crazy, wild promises which have no chance of working or succeeding. So there is a vetting, there is a keeping in mind of fiscal prudence, what can be managed without causing chaos in the fiscal management of the economy. And so with this, we had to focus on exposing the fakery. For example, they had been offering free water, but in the process, they had run the Delhi Jal Board into the ground, massive corruption, and everybody could see that the water coming out of the tap was undrinkable. In fact, you would get typhoid, you'd get real serious illnesses if you drank that water. They would talk about free transport, and yet the vast majority of the DTC fleet was grounded, and they were not investing in new buses. They talked about their so-called mohalla clinics, which were a farce, because we exposed them by showing ground-level videos of how they were, complete ramshackle.
Your strike rate as far as election management is concerned has been exceptional. We've seen in Assam also, last time around assembly elections, Delhi also. But now you've got the responsibility of Assam again. You know the state. What are you eyeing there? Are you confident this time around? And how are you going to take this mantle forward?
Having been in charge of Assam for 4 years earlier, and having been there, in fact, during the last election, having lived there for many months and overseen the process, now Assam has transformed. The whole Northeast has transformed. Prime Minister Modi has visited the entire Northeast far more times than all his predecessors combined. You have started seeing railways in states in the Northeast that didn't have it. In Assam, you have seen the resolution of major law and order issues, the settlement with the Bodo agreement. There are many other festering issues which were there have been resolved. The crackdown on law and order has seen a complete transformation in Assam. We have a dynamic government there which, truly implements the double-engine Sarkar model. So we've seen major infrastructure initiatives. We've seen major job creation. We have seen major new investments come to Assam, and not just the traditional investments, but very modern, high-tech kind of industries. You're seeing a lot of across the sector development that is taking place. I think in Assam, we are, in my opinion, in a much stronger position than we used to be in the past, and we won in the past 2 elections. This time we will repeat it with an improved number of seats.
There are challenges which they will have to tackle in coming few years in the national capital. The foremost promise is, of course, which they have made to make Delhi pollution-free. As of now, it does not really seem to be working for them. Delhi is, of course, witnessing huge air pollution. But their ministers and the Chief Minister have been saying that this is just the initial period. They will ensure that Delhi is pollution-free. The second and most important promise which they made was to clean Yamuna. 2027 Clean Yamuna mission has been fixed. Prime Minister Modi himself has spoken about it, that he will personally ensure that Yamuna is clean. So that is also a huge challenge before the Rekha Gupta government. They've also made a promise to give 50,000 government jobs to the youths of Delhi. How that will be achieved, that's something which we will see in coming few years. They have also said that they will make Delhi a garbage-free city and also will be providing 100% e-buses in the national capital. There are challenges which is before the BJP government, but as their leaders have been saying this very confidently, that as people of Delhi have supported them with full heart, they will also give everything to fulfill those promises which they have made to the people of Delhi.
So 2025 was great for the BJP, but can the party carry this momentum into 2026? Can it retain Assam, where Himanta Biswa Sarma has been running a government very capably, but can he beat anti-incumbency and the BJP come back to power in Assam? Can the BJP dislodge Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress from the West Bengal after 15 long years? West Bengal, in fact, would be the biggest challenge for the BJP, because the last time it could get 75 plus MLAs from there, but in the Lok Sabha, the performance was not like it was there in the earlier Lok Sabha elections in 2019. The two important southern states which go to election in 2026, the BJP in an alliance with the AIDMK, can it win back Tamil Nadu in that alliance with the AIDMK, though as a junior partner, but that could be a big message in the south by the BJP. Also Kerala, a tough frontier for the BJP, but the BJP is happy with the recent local body polls in which the state capital in Kerala, the BJP for the first time has got its own mayor. But can the BJP expand in Kerala and make a big footprint there, because the RSS also has been working a lot in the state of Kerala. These four big election battles could dominate the political story in 2026, but the BJP is prepared more than ever before. Thank you so much for joining us on this half an hour on the BJP's big political journey in 2025. We'll be back next year. Happy New Year from all of us at CNN News 18.